in this village. What the heck is going on? And so he goes out and checks, and lo and behold, he finds that most children can't really read. Now, this actually is a picture of India which symbolizes what's going on. Parents think children go to school, so they must be learning. Teachers think children come to school, I teach them, so they must be learning. And the policymakers are happy with all that and say, great. So when we do this survey, village after village after village, it's a wake-up call. Policy is not that easy to change. Establishment doesn't change that easily. Evidence in my corners of the world is not always helpful. So we have to start telling people, simplify the assessment, simplify the methods. So even the most ordinary people who are capable of doing extraordinary things, as we heard, they will get up and say, I want to educate my child. Whose responsibility is it to educate our children? Government. Well, it's easy to point fingers, but as you've heard perhaps in your childhood, when you point one finger at somebody, there are 3 fingers pointing at yourself. You better do something about it. Look at it another way. If it was your child who could not read, would you blame the government? Advocacy. Would you go out and lobby, or would you start teaching your child? I think both are required. While you have to tell the government to do things, you have to get up and start doing something by yourself. And I'm proud that I live in the country of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, get up and do it. Do it yourselves. So the Pratham volunteers, people go out and start talking. Mahatma Gandhi walked 23 days, 300 kilometers, and picked up salt against the British Empire. What country is this now? Okay. Hundreds of thousands joined him, and history of India was changed. And now you don't have to walk for 23 days, not 300 kilometers, just pick up a book, don't pick up salt, and read with a few children in your village. Hundreds of thousands will join you, and the history of India will change once again. It's a very powerful message. And that's how, by the thousands, volunteers come up. Now the problem is, while these volunteers come, they are also victims of the same education system. They can't teach very well. They don't know math. They don't know reading properly. And so the Skoll Award is going to help us to build capacity of our own organization so we can do things not only on a large scale, but do them better. We need to build leadership so that people can do things on their own. I want to end by quoting Lao Tzu, the great Chinese philosopher poet. And it's one of my favorites. It is a guiding principle of how we try to do work. It's not always easy. Lao Tzu said, go to the people, live among them, love them, learn from them, start with what they know, build on what they have. And when it is done, they will say, we did it ourselves. It's not about Pratham. It's not about you. It's not about Skoll. It's about people changing their own lives. We would like to enable them as best as we can. Thank you.
Ned Breslin, Water for People. Despite massive investments by the development community, the world is not on track to meet Millennium Development Goals addressing sanitation and water quality. Globally, 884 million people lack access to clean water and 2.6 billion to sanitation. Working in Africa for 16 years, Ned learned that solutions to sanitation and clean drinking water must be generated and sustained by communities. Water for People puts stakeholders back in charge of their own water systems. Working with communities to design and build systems that provide full coverage, Water for People insists on a standard as simple as it is powerful: to secure